Let's talk marriage and family life. Greeting once again from the office of Pastor Kevin Martin, and welcome to Let's Talk Marriage and Family Life. I hope that you're having a great day and that the blessings of the Lord are upon you. I'm going to give a little bit of a help to guys that are having trouble remembering your wife's birthday. If you're having trouble remembering your wife's birthday, all you have to do is forget it once. And you'll never forget it again. She'll make sure of that. I want to talk to you for a few moments today about love language. Understanding each other's love language. Understanding the love language of your spouse. Usually opposites attract. And because of that, they have different love languages. Usually one person is task-oriented and the other person is people-oriented. It's like two different radios on different frequencies. I had worked for the natural gas pipeline company for 14 years, and the area of specialty was telecommunications. And one of those jobs, as being a telecommunications specialist, was to install and maintain the two-way radios that was in every company vehicle. And to do that, I was continually checking the frequency. So whenever we would transmit, or a person would key the microphone, and the radio was transmitting whatever the message they wanted to transmit, had to make sure that the transmitter was set to a certain frequency, 4878 megahertz. And I had to make sure that the receivers was tuned to that frequency, because if it was tuned to another frequency, even though a message was being sent, it would not be received because it was a different frequency. And so what happens so many times in marriage is one or both spouses don't feel loved. And the reason they don't feel loved is because it's like two radios with different frequencies. They're both sending love, but the way it's being received, or it may not be being received, because their spouse reads love differently. One spouse's way of sending love is not received as love by the other spouse. So if your spouse is task-oriented, the task-oriented person, they're task-oriented in the way they think. Now, these are the key words. Remember, they relate to tasks and not people. They're task-minded. Usually, they're not very affectionate. They don't do much talking or touching, spending time, giving affection. The task-oriented person doesn't feel comfortable with all the mushy I love yous, or lots of hugging, lots of touching, lots of kissing, lots of talking. Instead of spending a lot of time holding and touching, they will feel like their space is being invaded. They're task-oriented, and then their mind, there's work that needs to be done. They may need that. They'll feel like they need to go change the oil, or need to go mow the lawn, or read a book, or wash dishes or clean the house or fix a door, vacuum the carpet, go watch the news or go to the computer and start trying to take care of tasks that need to be done on the computer. Go take care of business. They're task-oriented. And so they are driven to things that are a task. And remember this, task-oriented. And so they look at time spent as far as being together with a spouse, time of talking or hugging and holding and touching and kissing. They look at that as another task. Remember that. They look at that as another task. It is another task or duty that has to be done. And so they're thinking in that way. So to them, giving physical affection is another task. And so at the end of the day, they may say, I'm tired. Because to them, it's another task. They're exhausted. They're tired. They've been working all day. They've been working on task all day. And so that time together, it is another task. And so you may hear them talking about, I need rest, or I'm tired, or whatever, because task is the way they are thinking. And so what revives them is quiet time alone, them having time to think, meditate, or think about a project, or taking care of some kind of business, or tinkering with something. That seems to be a way of reviving them. So they're always looking to go to something to tinker with or do. They don't need a lot of people time. And so that will help you to understand your mate if they're task-oriented. The task-oriented person, they express love and reads love through tasks. So they feel loved by tasks that are done for them. When you do tasks for them, they feel loved. And they need their spouse to think in advance for them. Go out of their way to show their love by tasks that they do for them. They can't hardly enjoy life. They can't hardly enjoy an evening of holding and hugging and kissing with their spouse because there's tasks that needs to be done. There's something that needs to be done. Or they're exhausted from all of the tasks and they need rest. The people-oriented person. Let's talk about that person. If your spouse is the people-oriented person, then it's like the radio with a different frequency. All right? So the way they send and receive love is going to be different. They are people-oriented. The people-oriented person needs a person. So when the person comes home, they want to spend time with a person. They give and they receive love by touching, hugging, talking, holding, kissing. That's love to them. That's how they read love. That's how they give love. And so what happens with them is they will let tasks go undone for the sake of spending time with a person. Things will go undone. They need a person. They need someone with skin on. They are people-oriented. They want to talk to a person. They want to touch. They want to hug. They want to give affection, receive affection. Everything else can wait. The people-oriented person, the house can wait. The car can wait. Things that need to be done can wait. The dishes can wait. Fixing that broken door can wait. All of those tasks can wait. Their motto is the house can be burning down as long as we're holding each other. As long as we're in each other's arms, at least we're going to die happy. That's the mindset, that's the motto of the people-oriented person. They need a lot of verbal expressions of love and closeness, time spent together. And this is where communicating is so important in your marriage. To communicate and learn your spouse's love language. And whatever it takes, meet their need. Get into that frequency and meet their need. And keep your spouse happy. Keep your spouse happy. If you are task-oriented and your mate is a people-oriented person, then work on expressing affection more openly. That means love to your mate. That means happiness to your mate, because they will suffer emotionally from a lack of expressions of love. If you are people-oriented and your mate is task-oriented, work on showing your love by tasks that you do for them. Task, things done, things taken care of. Everything is in order. The house is in order. Everything. Task-oriented. They feel loved by the task that you do for them. And they need space. So if you come to them and you need a lot of time, that people person, they feel like their space is invaded and they will try to distance themselves. But remember, it doesn't mean they don't love you. They are task-oriented. So they may try to distance themselves, have alone, quiet time to think, or go find some task that needs to be done, or tinker with something. That's because they're task-oriented. So what happens is, because of being different in the way that we give and receive love, you may think the other person does not love you, but that's not true. You're just on a different frequency. In reality, you both love each other. It's just not being received in your frequency. The key is to learn your spouse's love language and give love in the language that your spouse understands. And make sure your spouse feels loved. Meet each other's needs and be happy. God bless you. I hope that you have a great and a wonderful day. If I've been a blessing to you, you would like to give a love offering, you can go to our church website, www.atascocitaupc.com. God bless, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.